So if you guys ever wondered how I shoot Smagam videos or any sort of interviews or just some stationary Gurdwara stuff, I'm making this video today to tell you guys how I shoot, what gear I use, and how I try to max out the quality of my videos in those occasions. So I got a lot of questions on the Bay Area Smagam videos. Oh, what camera do you use? What audio recorder do you use? So I'm just making this quick little video here to tell you guys about the gear I use and the settings I use to make sure that I get the best quality out of my content. For these Smagam videos, I'm actually using two cameras. So at all times, continuously recording the whole program or the whole Kirtan segment. If I use two cameras, it will just make the whole process a lot more cleaner and a lot more artistic. It just gives a different perspective to the whole video. So I use Sony A7 Mark III. I have two of those, so I put two of those in two different angles. Last year at the Smagam, actually, I decided to put them fairly at the same angle, just with a different camera. That didn't convey the message that much, so actually in the 2019 Smagam video, I put them into two different areas where one was like on the front and the other one was on the side, so it kind of gave a really nice vibe to it. And so I was always using a prime lens because the lighting conditions are out of hand, and I feel like it's one of the things that if you're using anything for Kirtan, you can always keep it around f-stop, keep that around about 2 or 1.8, and that's when you can actually have the Kirtani in focus and everyone else behind can be sort of slightly out of focus, and that kind of works. But if we do want some more clarity, we might keep the f-stop at like 4 or 5 or even 6 to keep the whole image clear. And on the side as well, side camera, I would probably go on a lower aperture because, you know, it's a side angle, you're supposed to be more artistic with that. So going at 1.8, 1.4 if you can, it looks really nice in the ending. So that's what I use as my settings. I'll most likely use a Sigma 35mm 1.4 or a Sigma 85 1.4 that just sits on the side, and 35 would sit in the front. Although I would like to, you know, go a little wider next time, just for that front side where I can get a wider range of, you know, Sangat in the background or anyone else. At night for Ransabai Kirtan, most likely the lighting will have problems, so you might just want to keep the aperture low. I do like to shoot at 24 frames per second just because then I can put my shutter speed around 40 or 50. That just means that, you know, I'm letting in a lot more light than I would be if I was shooting at like 60 frame rate, because then I would have to put my shutter speed around 80 to, you know, 120, where a lot of the image would be dark and I would actually have to bump up the ISO. And that's one of the things I do not like to do, is bumping up the ISO too high, because it brings an extra grain into the whole image, just making it look less professional and less artistic. I like to use the Zoom H6, however the Zoom H4n Pro I think works really well as well. So anything that can get you, you know, solid audio from like right in front of the Kirtani, that really helps as well. Also, if you're using two cameras, you probably don't want to use two different audio levels where, you know, you're picking up this sound and then you're picking up that sound, and then once you're switching back and forth, you're kind of switching the whole audio sound as well, so that doesn't kind of look great or sound great, should I say. So that's why I kind of use, you know, an external audio recorder where I get really good audio out of it, and also I don't have to worry about using the cameras for audio. I can just use them for video and make sure that they provide great video for me. So that covers audio, video, how to power the video. You can basically use any tripods. I don't have a preference. Most of these shots will be stationary, so you don't need to do much. For the side angle, however, this year I was using a slider underneath it, so I had a pretty solid tripod, and then on top of that I had a Rhino slider, and it was automated, so it would go back and forth and give me some slight little motion, but I didn't notice that much of a motion because there was nothing in the foreground or the background that was like significant because of the movement. So I don't actually plan on using it in the future. But yeah, that's about what I used this year. And so that's about it. That's what I use. If you guys have any other questions, please make sure to ask them down below. I try to cover everything I use because you guys ask me this a lot on every single video that I post almost. The only thing I would fix next year is maybe go for a higher frame rate if I could use more light. But as I said before, that only depends on how much light I have and how much ISO I can put up with. The only issue I would have with that low frame rate is the double G, of course, with AKJ programs, and you know, even regular fast double players, you always see their hand actually becoming slow, or like you can see the frames dropping because their hand is flowing so fast. And I think that's, you know, one of the things that 24 frames per second won't actually give you. So that's about it for this video, guys. If you guys like this quick little tutorial, please make sure to hit that thumbs up and let me know how you liked it. So yeah, and also if you have any questions, please ask them down below. Everything I use, I'll link it in the description as well, so you guys can check it out. If you guys have the budget, go ahead, buy with it. And also, last little reminder, you do not need the gear to shoot quality content. So if you guys can't afford any of this, I really suggest you get, you know, entry-level DSLR or mirrorless, where you can just shoot manually, and from there on you can control your own settings. So that's about it. I think I've said that about 5 times now, but yeah, that's totally all I had to say. Hope you guys liked this video, and if you did, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one.